Hey guys, what's going on? Tenebris here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we got another post about Hytale on the Hytale website, and this post is actually about the Worldgen, and this includes never-before-seen content about the game, and it has a lot of information about the biomes and stuff, and this is really exciting, guys. I've read through this before, and it is insanely exciting what they're doing here. So here we go, Worldgen introduction. So this is just the introduction. They might have further blog posts to clarify or to expand on the concepts that they come up with here or explain here. Today we're going to provide a first look at Hytale's world generation system, the technology that underpins every area you'll explore as you progress through adventure mode. So this is essentially the adventure mode. I would assume that servers can create their own maps or whatever just by either building them or by, having a pre-generated terrain or whatnot. So, the world of Orbis. Now, we did already find out that there were different worlds in Hytale when we took a look at the website in depth, and it was in one of the concept arts. You saw a bunch of different, orbs and stuff, and I said that those are different worlds you travel to. But this is basically confirmation of that already, so we can see this piece of concept art is one of the first we produced when development of Hytale began. It depicts 4 of the zones which make up the planet Orbis. So these are, of course, planets. So we have Emerald Grove, 4 of the lands. It looks like there's 6. Emerald Grove, Howling Sands, Borea, which is like a snow one, and then Devastated Lands, which just looks like a lava biome. So we got grass, sand, snow, lava. Pretty interesting. And you can see each zone is unique. Our world generation system draws on a different set of rules for each one, and each one has its own set of biomes. So each zone contains different biomes. So it's not the case that each of the zones are biomes. It's the case that each of the zone contains different biomes. If you look closely, you'll get a sense for how underground topography changes from the winding caves and dungeons of Zone 1 to the subterranean forests of Zone 4. So you can also see that in the different zones, there's different, underground cave systems. You can see in the grass zone, you can see it's kind of like this, and then the desert zone, it's very vertical, and in the Borea, you can see it's kind of like a mixture of the two, and then all the way in the Devastated Lands, it is pretty, there's subterranean forests and stuff of that sort, and it's very pretty down there. Okay, let's keep going. Generating a zone. So here's an example of zone-based world gen in action. Oh, okay, so take a look at this, guys. So this says you're looking at a top-down view of Zone 1, which would be Emerald Grove, comprising several different biomes: forests, lakes, hills, ravines, and more. Our world gen system ties these together seamlessly along with topographical features like ponds and rocky outcrops. You can see a handful of generated points of interest. So let's take a look at if we can find some points of interest. So I see a structure up here on the top left. I see a bunch of stone being generated here. I see another, one of these castles down here. On the right, there's kind of I'm not 100% sure what that is, but there's definitely a structure right over there. You can also see that there's another castle right here. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. What else can we see here? Not much else, but those are some of the generated structures. And you can see right here, each zone has its own set of blocks and distinct content, including furniture sets, NPC races, creatures and critters, plant life, weather, and geology. Exploring a cave in Borea will be very different from exploring a cave in the Emerald Grove. So this is a screenshot of, I think, the border between Borea and Emerald Grove, unless this is all Borea. I'm not 100% sure, but you can see on the right-hand side it looks like grassy, and on the left-hand side it looks like it's snowy. You can also see kind of icicles down there. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but you can also see that there's different furniture sets and even completely different blocks per zone. So this is really awesome. You can see that one of them is a lighter colored wood, one is a darker colored wood. Coastal areas and the deep ocean. Zones have different coastal features too, including specific biomes for the shoreline. Above you can see a mountainous coast in Zone 3, whereas below you can see the sands of Zone 2. So Zone 3 being, Borea, Zone 2 being Howling Sands. So let's just scroll down here again. You can see that there's different, shorelines right here. These world gen elements continue underwater, with secrets to find if you're brave enough to venture beneath the waves. And we saw in the trailer there was a pretty good clip of someone swimming beneath the waves, and you saw a shipwreck and stuff of that sort, as well as puffer fish and stuff. It was really cool. However, that's not all. Venture far enough from land and you'll encounter the ocean's shelf, a sudden drop-off at the edge of each zone that leads to the deep ocean. The deep ocean is, effectively, a zone all by itself. It holds many dangers and rewards for intrepid explorers to discover. You'll have to prepare carefully in order to survive the depths. So I assume this is the drop-off right here, and that would be the deep ocean down there. That's pretty cool. Beyond the oceans lie the infinite lands. Hytale's storyline won't take you out that far, but our Worldgen tech will ensure you that there's always something for you to find beyond the edges of the world. So this is the infinite lands or something. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but you can see it kind of like purple. I'm not 100% sure what this is down here, but it looks like some purple rock or something, and the character's swimming down to it. We also see some rocks. We see a clam. We see some fish. I don't see anything much else in there. We got a lot of like plant life and stuff, but this looks really cool. So we got the deep land. So we got the ocean, and each ocean is different. The ocean shelf is different per zone, right? Which zones are not the same thing as biomes. Biomes are contained in zones, from what I've gathered. And then farther out, you have the deep ocean, and then farther from that, we got the infinite land. So that comes after the deep ocean. Generated caves and dungeons. World generation applies to underground areas too, including caves and dungeons. So you can see right here, you have a dungeon. I assume this is like a skeleton creature. I'm not sure if this is just bones or not. I think this is just bones. So it's not really a creature, it's a dead creature. And you can see a lot of barrels and random stuff. I assume you could probably loot some of that. Caves are full of secrets and creatures to encounter, and will be an important source of resources. So these are caves. You can see, I believe this is some of the stone you could get. Maybe this is some ore. No. This is a snail, a lava snail. Oh, is that a mob? That is so cool. There's a lava snail. Up here we got some mushrooms, some green mushrooms, and here's some ore. Here's some gold ore or something. And we also just have these like weird like plants that light up the area. That is interesting. I wonder what lives down here. That's crazy. Dungeons are a little bit different. They comprise multiple chambers and encounters joined by connecting passageways, often culminating in a final room. So here's oh wow. Okay, so this is the entire dungeon, right? You would have to go all the way around here, and then at the very bottom you'd probably fight a boss or whatever, or maybe get like really good loot. Prefabs. So this is prefabricated content. Dungeons are just one example of how prefabricated content is incorporated into Hytale's world generation. We've created 3,785 prefabs. They run and range from environmental features to rock faces to ruins, buildings, special encounters. They're distributed throughout the world at random and sometimes appear only once. And you can see this is probably one of the prefabs. So this is kind of one of the structures that generate. So they have over 4,000 of these type of structures and random events and stuff that show up. Let's see what else we can see on the screenshot. I don't see anything else. We have another structure on the right. You can see that here are a bunch of trees, I believe. I'm not sure if those count as prefabs, but portal dungeons. So Gaian portal. So as you can see, the concept art for a specific type of prefab, the entrance to a portal dungeon. When you meet the criteria necessary to unlock one, so you have to unlock one, you'll enter a hand-designed encounter with its own rules and terrain. You'll be limited in which blocks you can break with those portal dungeons, challenging you to overcome obstacles with your other skills. Depending on where you find them, portal entrances can take several forms. So if you find a portal dungeon and go inside of it, you can basically go into like a custom world, and then in that custom world you have like its own like generated terrain. That is so cool. And you can see all the different portal versions of the portal dungeon. The Temple of Gaia is apparently a dungeon, and its component part is the Garden of Elements. So we have the Temple of Gaia right here. The Garden of Elements, I assume, would be up here. That's probably like part of the dungeon. Oh, this is it right here, the Garden of Elements. So that's not even in this. So, and there's a corrupted golem in the middle. Maybe you have to fight him or awaken him and then kill him. I'm not sure. Happy little accidents. Now that you've got a sense of the broad principles that govern world generation in Hytale, from unique zones to hand-designed dungeons, all this is governed by a set of rules, with some of our favorite environmental features come about when contrasting two sets of rules. So, happy little accidents, moments where the principles we've laid out for a given zone combine in surprising ways. So, as you can see right here, we got a ravine, which is a generated structure, and then we also have a kind of structure right here, and you can see that the little inhabitants of this ravine, you know, the structure kind of goes out into the ravine, but it doesn't go all the way down. We have discovered rivers that carve their way through mountains and dungeons that have been split in half by a ravine. Swampy terrain might creep halfway up a mountain, or you might be exploring a cave only to discover a lost mine deep within. So that's pretty cool. That's very similar to Minecraft. That's very cool. I like that a lot. So you can see right here, you have multiple intersecting, you know, a cave with a dungeon, right? Multiple different intersecting world generation. And you can see torches, a candle here and a torch down here, so we know that candles are a thing. What's more, all the world generation systems we've created will be fully customizable by content creators. You can tweak Worldgen rules or write your own through configuration files. You can also build and share your own prefabs and dungeons, including portal dungeons. You can create and configure your own blocks, environments, and even NPCs. Combining all these options together gives content creators the power to craft biomes, zones, and ultimately worlds of their own. Holy crap, guys. So this is even more customizable than I thought it was going to be. You can create basically anything you want in this game. Completely. Anything. That is crazy. So this is really cool. So, now that we got a sneak peek at the Worldgen, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'm getting hyped, more and more hyped for this game every single time they have a blog post. We need more blog posts. Come on. All right, guys. See you guys later. Peace out.